Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Q&A Tuesday. Really got a great question that's so deep and so common in looking at compulsion or, the habit of thinking about food and eating in the case of this person who shared, but also looking at it just in any situation that we're in. Looking at the the thoughts that say, that isn't good. I don't like it. I don't like that that's happening. I don't like that person did that over there. I don't like that this condition is underway or this diagnosis or that money's doing what it does or anything. And then, of course, also we're looking at ourselves and saying, I'm doing it wrong when we have the habit of overeating or over drinking or an addictive process that we're calling an addictive process, compulsion. Have to buy this. I have to get there. I have to be enlightened. Like it's an idea, a place to go, and that I'm not there. So boiling it down to a simple thought that just says, I'm damaged. I'm broken. I've got proof. Just look at the size of my body or just look at the way I ate yesterday. There's something wrong with me. I can see looking at all those years that I had of, binge eating and then starving or doing something to ever flip the opposite, like vomiting or, and being afraid of the scale and looking at what the number was and being really concerned, intensely concerned about the number. And it looks sad. And even I can even find the thing that looks like a sad way to live now, except was it? I mean, that might be an odd thing to say, but it just will conclude, like just this thinking is kind of drawing a conclusion. There is something that seems to be off and we're not crazy. Like, I was born with a balance in mind, a balance within a natural state of being. I was born, this is just the way this expresses itself, this human baby. And sure, maybe there's some differences with different human babies. Some are more energetic and some are less energetic. And who knows? Like, we all love studying and looking at all that. Is personality there early on? It sure looks like, when you have different children and this one does that and this one does this over here. There's this wonderful share inside the Eating Peace Inquiry Circle. One of the members is taking care of baby bunnies. And I just had the thought as looking, because she shared a video with us of these little bunnies that have to be fed with tiny little bottles and, looking at food and eating and taking in nourishment and that they'll eat just the right amount and then they'll stop. I mean, they're just no longer interested. They just turn away even if the bottle is offered. There's something built in that there they are being baby bunnies, just what they are. Isn't there something amazing about that question? Who am I? What is this? We don't necessarily say it's the wrong way to be. Of course, for things in nature, sometimes it's a little bit easier, animals and plants and trees and flowers. And sometimes we say that shouldn't be like that over there, but it's not the fault of nature itself. Nature had a tornado and that was the wrong thing. We're sort of amazingly willing to work with, that seems to happen, that occurs. And we might start to think a lot about why, with thoughts about the self, maybe it's a punishment, that it just does what it does. There's all kinds of energy. There's peaceful, soothing, calm energy, the perfect temperature, quiet, no wind. And then there's lots of intense, wild, insane wind. And then it passes. And maybe all that weather I love this metaphor from Pima Chodron. I just go back to it all the time over and over again, that it's like we're the sky, and then there's the weather happening in it. And what if we're like that too? We're the sky, and then there's the weather that's happening in it. So, the baby bunny is is born, and it's part of the sky. It's just life being lived and turning out to be miraculously. There's so many different forms and organisms and beings, and it's unbelievable. It's incredible. And we happen to be humans. And there we are, being humans, doing what we do. And that it looks like, oh, I love that, hi, Ann. That it looks like there's something wrong because of however we're doing it and by ever what's happening. There's something wrong with this. And it really looks wrong. I mean, I just can feel that. It really looks like I'm thinking the wrong way. I'm seeing it the wrong way. I'm suffering over here. My body wouldn't be like this unless I was doing it wrong. Obviously, it's wrong. And just notice what it's like when you believe that thought. There's something wrong here. And I mean, like there's so much of a hunting down how to fix it. I must not have it yet. I guess I just don't understand. I'm trying to get this, and I get a little bit, but then I don't really get it, or it's not, it doesn't feel amazing, it doesn't feel right. I'm damaged. When we say that, there's a lot of looking at the past, and if my parents were different, if my circumstances, if I was born in a different time or place, if I um, didn't have the kind of mind that I have, that was over nervous, or something, or too sensitive, then I'd be better off. Like it just kind of loves to, I just thought itself loves to look at what's not good in the picture, because it wants to identify, like, okay, yeah, let's problem solve here. Let's get this taken care of. And then the hunting, and the trying and the analyzing and looking. And just how much suffering can come out of thinking I'm damaged, I'm broken, there's something wrong. Just being so convinced and having lots of proof. I guess it's okay to have lots of proof. I'm trying to think where that thought might have come in for me lately. They can be just whispers of thought. It's like, I should be doing it this other way. I should have said it differently. Yeah, that there's just something in the even the advice giving. I should have done it differently. I should have done it like that. That the mind is talking about, and then believing it. What believing it just feels to me like you feel it in the body, and it's very quick. It just kind of like feels in there, strong. So who would you be without the thought? Who are we without the thought? Who are we without believing? So the thought might even be there. You don't even have to see it as gone if it isn't gone. But who would we be without the story, I am damaged, I'm broken, my past is affecting my present all the time, every minute, we'll say. I mean, who would I be without that story? What if it's all okay the way it's happened? Like, it's so funny because I can almost go like, what if I don't even know why I was a binge eater? And that energy would come up like a geyser. I think of it like a geyser in the Yellowstone National Park, just explosive. And then it would calm down again and be still. And then that would repeat itself. And I definitely would have thinking, I'm damaged, I'm broken, just look at this, so embarrassing, so shameful. What if that was all okay exactly the way it was for even as long as it lasted? Years. Years. I mean, what if it was okay? What if it was letting off steam, as we say, or, I like this, still with the sky metaphor. Sky is not concerned with the birds flying through it or the airplanes flying through it. It's just being a sky. And those things are so small compared to the vastness of the sky and the infinite space of the sky. Just like little nothing. And what if that's like who we are, and our thoughts of being damaged are like birds and airplanes? Who would we be without the story? How serious it is and how there's something wrong. What if just for a moment you couldn't see there is something absolutely and totally wrong? And we're not in denial. We're not saying something isn't struggling there. But what if we just let it be the way it is, instead of like the race to change it and make sure it's different and kind of attack zone on it? God, I got to get rid of this thing that I'm so damaged. I need to, even in this inquiry, what if we didn't have to start thinking, I'm not damaged? Really quick. Let's go to I'm not damaged. What if it's just, there's a built-in thing, just like the baby bunnies, that is saying yes and saying no to food and eating and energy. And I know animals, it doesn't seem to have the same kind of thought process, analyzing if they did it wrong or not. So that's kind of wonderful that they're all there, just being animals. They're not saying, not aware, I am a bunny. It doesn't look like it, at least. And we tend to become aware. Oh, I am a human and I'm doing it like this. And I can compare and I can see other ways humans do it. And that's the better way, and all that stuff that happens. It's amazing, the consciousness that can see and look and compare and, go to, like, just get so fascinated by it all. What if that's all just thought doing what it does, and that's okay? And that we are, I love that, even who would you be without the thought, to help invite us into the wondering about it. And who are you already without thought? I sometimes will say this in different, classes and programs. Another thing that comes up is just, how do my feet feel about the situation, or my kneecaps, or my elbows? Because they're present, and we wouldn't say that's who I am. We kind of know there's a distance from my feet. If I lost my feet somehow, they got cut off. It's kind of a weird picture, but if that happened, we wouldn't say, I am no longer here anymore. The sky is still here, conscious, whether that's there or not. It's like the way we're ourselves, no matter what we are weighing in the world, and that or what we're eating. There's something happening there that's being expressed, but there's a piece behind it all. There's like just an awareness that we're all a part of, like a being lived and being thought. Who are we without that? Getting really into the story and talking about it. And what if it's not true the way we're thinking it is? What if I don't have to repair the broken bits? And what if it's okay to just not know how to repair anything and not need to actually fix it? What if there's something that's already fixed, like the sky? I don't have to fix the sky. What if that's the case? And I'm just watching all that energy move and do what it does, and I can't do it wrong, actually. What if I couldn't do it wrong? I heard Byron Katie say that a long time ago, and at different other times, her say that. What if you can't do it wrong? What if this isn't doing it wrong? It's almost shocking to think that it looks like that's wrong. What if there's something, though, present that is okay with it, and aware that it's a passing energy. It's very intense energy, sure, and it's passing like a hurricane. And there's something here that really is okay. And I can just lean back into that, like kind of just lean back into the openness of the sky and watching all the thought, and it's very speedy, very fast. What'll I do about this? And what if I don't have to know? What if not knowing is actually just kind of wonderful, much safer than we think? Don't even have to know and chase down like where anyone gets enlightened, or who we get enlightened from, or what kind of insight needs to happen to be aware or enlightened, like whatever we think enlightened is, whatever the mind thinks enlightened is. What if we already are? What if there's something that's just light, being, doing what it does, aware that there's a struggle underway that happens. It's not there every minute of every hour. Sometimes we're asleep. Sometimes we're not thinking. It doesn't seem like it that much, but who would we be without believing the thought? So turn the thought around. Okay, I'm broken, I'm damaged, there's something wrong with me. Turn the thought around. Who are we without that story? Can I find an example? I am not broken. I am not damaged. There's something right with me. Just to find examples, just to be in that awareness, even though it looks like that's how I've been eating and that's the weight that I am. And my mind has gotten really, really stirred up and busy and had lots of thoughts. What if there's something right with me? Can I find that? Like, you just wonder about it. Still here, still very present, still conscious, still open. I mean, there is a presence here that's kind of amazing. Something just here. Despite everything that's ever happened, just buzzing like an electric current. And when it comes to like food and eating, there's an awareness, very clear, of when something hurts. So that's awesome. Like, oh, wow, that's painful over there. I've got that thing that says that's painful. Awesome. I've also got something right about me. It's clear when I'm thinking something and I feel pain and stress and suffering around it. Wow, I'm really into that thing. I'm really believing. I can tell because I've got this sensor that turns on that feels uncomfortable. Might not catch it right away because there's the discomfort, and then I just can sit. Oh, it's fantastic that the discomfort is there, like a little tripwire, a light that goes on. Oh, believer, you're believing something. You're really taking something very seriously that might not be true for you. So great that I've got that sensor in place that catches, that quickly shows me, suffering, that I'm believing there's something wrong. And that's right. That's something right with me. You can just keep going with this, and stay in that turnaround, wondering, like, I'd like to be shown more examples. And I'm not trying to kind of build up an equal and opposite side. Like there's the negative way of looking at myself and here's a positive way, not like positive affirmations or anything like that. It's just genuinely seeing what's steady and present and kind of right, like solid, available, like the sky, maybe undefined, about who I am. Who am I? The most amazing question. Who am I? What is this I that I say that I am? Who am I? What am I? And the turnaround, my thoughts are broken and damaged and wrong. And it's not a criticism or a judgment of the thoughts as if you're the one who created them in the first place, because we aren't. They just appear, right? They really do just pop in. Didn't say, I think I'll have that thought now. They just appear. But if we didn't even think of them as intrusive or invasive, or that I'm suddenly a victim of them, they're just happening, like the rain. It's raining. There's lots of birds flying through the sky. My thinking is talking about brokenness and damage and damaged goods and wrongness and the past and the future and making predictions. And it's just doing what thinking does. Thinking gets all involved in that. It says terrible, terrible. And that's totally fine that it does that. That's just thinking, though. And am I my thoughts? One of the most amazing questions ever. Am I what I'm thinking? Is that me? If I have my definitions or my beliefs, my ideas about who I am and what my personality is and what happened to me and where this is going and what it means about me that my body looks like this, or my eating looks like that, or my other behavior that I don't like looks like that, or even my thoughts is another thought. Those are just ideas. If I have those ideas, are those me? Those stories? Is that who I actually am entirely and completely? I love we use this word identifying. I get identified with my story, so I believe it is who I am. And if so, it looks like it's true. I am this person, and I have this name, and I'm this age, and this was my birthday. And I can even get with my sisters, and we can all remember the same thing, although it's always different, kind of based on where we were standing and who we were. But we have some of the same memories, and it looks like, there's some things that look identifiable and shared. And maybe there's all one mind that's all looking at everything. And I'm not so unique or individual. It's like all one. So thinking isn't damaged or broken. It's just doing what it does. But that's a great turnaround to find. It's just thought that's doing that, not who I am. So, just play with that today. Be like, You might notice, you could feel it inside, the thought, wow, this is a damaged way to be when it comes to food and eating. Damaged way to be when it comes to like drinking, scrolling the internet, watching TV, blah, 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 blah. The whole list of all the things, biting my fingernails, picking at my skin. I shouldn't be like this, says the mind. And, what if it just relax with any of it and see all of that's just temporary little blips of energy. And what if they aren't so bad and damaged and broken? They're just doing whatever they do, like birds in the sky, like the weather. Nothing better than anything else. Just a really sweet and wonderful practice to wonder about instead of focusing on the problem, right? I have loved focusing on the problem. Focus on the problem. Find a solution. My mind loves that. And that's fun that it loves it. So that's okay too. And it's all right if nothing's solved. Maybe something is solved here already and I didn't realize it yet. Then time is not required. So I just see where that goes. All right. Lots of love, my friends. Be a baby bunny.